Hello, Genderqueer Chat. My name is Stacy, and I am brand new to this channel. This is my first post for Genderqueer Chat, and I am very excited. Since this is my first video, I want to take a moment to introduce myself and tell you a little bit more about me. As I said, my name is Stacy. I am 27 years old, and I live in Colorado. And the reason why I wanted to be a part of this channel initially is because I am a viewer of this channel as well, and I really liked what I saw here. I really liked that there were people talking openly about being genderqueer. It's not something you hear about very often, and it's not something that the media really covers, and it's really not something that is even talked about much in the queer community, in the LGBT community. So I think it's a great online resource, and I really like the community that I see here. And I wanted to be a part of this because I think this will be a great outlet for me. I don't really talk about gender very much or think about it, and I'm not really completely out as genderqueer. Only a few people in my life know that I'm genderqueer, and those few people are very supportive, which I'm very, very lucky. Um, but not everyone knows, mainly because it doesn't come up. The topic does not come up, and I'm not one to bring that sort of thing up. I mean, to me, it's a difficult topic. It's a tricky topic. There are a lot of gray areas in gender. And also, it's not something people really ask about. I mean, no one really asks about gender. So, again, a few people do know, but because it's not something that really comes up in day to day interaction, it's really not anything I give much thought to. And I think it would be good for me to speak openly about gender and speak openly about, um, you know, that topic and how I am genderqueer and what that means to me. Um, and I just think it'll be a good outlet. It's good to think about those things. It's a large part of me and part of my identity, but I don't really give it much thought. So I think this will be a great outlet for that. So a little bit more about me. I am an artist, sort of. I'm not a professional artist or anything, but I do enjoy art. I appreciate art, and I paint. I write. Um, do weird scrapbooking things. Um, Art's another big part of my life. I definitely enjoy that. Um, I like baking. Like just going out and having a good time. I like to travel. Um, probably the usual things. Hanging out with friends and talking to my family. So my family actually is not in Colorado. They're all back east. So it's nice when I can talk to them over the phone or visit them. I'm planning a visit this October, so I'm pretty excited for that. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me. So let's move on to our topic this week, which is what has been your highest and lowest point along your gender journey. I'm going to start with my lowest point here. My lowest point was definitely growing up. That was pretty rough. Um, I was raised in a very conservative, uh, kind of like a 1950s sort of house. Think of the uh, Leave It to Beaver, and that's really not the household I grew up in at all. But that's what I was taught to strive for. So basically, your stereotypical American female, um, trying to achieve the American dream. I'm pretty sure my parents wanted me to settle down with a husband and have 2.5 kids, a dog, a cat, and a white picket fence somewhere in suburbia. Um, it's really uh, not what I wanted at all. I did not want that as a child, and I do not want that as an adult. But because of that, and because of their um, ideas or ideal that they had for me, I was constantly forced, and sometimes literally forced into dresses because I would refuse to wear them. Um, and I could play sports on a team, but I wasn't allowed to go outside and roughhouse with the boys. I couldn't get dirty very often. I had paper dolls and Barbies and all of that stuff. Um, and, you know, very much grew up in a household where women belonged in the kitchen, basically. Um, so it was very suppressive. I mean, it was very suppressive of females, but it was also, I felt suppressed because I felt that I could not truly express myself. Plus, I felt suppressed because I was born into with a female body. So, um, it was very confusing, and I felt like I um, could not do normal kid stuff. I couldn't climb trees. My father was overprotective of me. I wasn't even allowed to go fishing sometimes down by the river with my cousins who were boys and about my age. So it was um, it was very confusing and it was rough. It was rough because it was hard to understand that as a child, regardless of if you're male or female. If you just want to go out and have a good time and everyone else is doing it, why can't I go and climb that tree too? What's wrong? It was very confusing from just a child's perspective, but it was also confusing because I didn't even feel like I fit anything close to what they wanted me to be. Um, as far as you know, my likes and my dislikes, but also as gender because I I always felt different. I mean, when I would play dress up, I distinctly remember a lot of little girls will dress up in mommy's clothing and wear a mommy's pocketbook and high heels around the house and put on mommy's makeup and oh how cute, you know. And I never did that, but I didn't dress up in my dad's clothes either. What I would do was I would take like this weird bathrobe and I would take my mom's makeup, but I would make myself into something very ambiguous. A lot of times I was the swamp thing, or I was an alien, or I was, something, completely neutral. Or I would have my mom's and my dad's clothes on. Like just, I always knew that I didn't fit in, and I always knew that I was different. I just didn't know how until I got much older. So my lowest point was definitely um, as a very young child, and all of that confusion that uh, that I was feeling at that time. However, on the flip side, my highest point in my journey is probably right now. I am out as genderqueer. I have been out as genderqueer for a couple of years now, or out as genderqueer to the couple of people who know. For a couple of years, my girlfriend knows, and she is completely supportive of me, which is wonderful. And the other people I told, when I told them I was genderqueer, they kind of said, okay, and didn't even think really anything of it. I think one of my friends had a couple of questions, but, nothing too extreme. And I think that they really, I feel for the most part, felt very accepted, and I didn't feel like they really batted an eye. They didn't feel it was weird or confusing. I mean, once they understood what it was, they said, okay, that's fine, that's cool. And I don't think they really viewed me any differently. I think, and I like that. I like that they still saw me for me, and they didn't see me as their weird genderqueer friend, or something like that. I was very concerned that that would happen, but it didn't. And yeah, I felt very accepted in it, and I liked that they didn't make a big deal of it. I liked that it was like it was almost as if I told them, "Oh, my favorite color is blue." You know, okay. Was very much the reaction I got, and I like that. That was very reassuring to me because I didn't see it as something negative. I didn't see it as disinterest. I saw it as complete acceptance. It really it doesn't make a difference to them, how I identify, and I really appreciate that. I really like that. My girlfriend, I told her that I was genderqueer when we first met because I wanted to be completely open about that. And once she understood what my definition of genderqueer was, she said, okay. And also, again, it wasn't a big deal. And she is incredibly supportive of me. She's really supportive of me being on this channel. She also thinks it'll be a great outlet for me. And I just feel a lot of love and acceptance there in this area of my life right now. Um, and I haven't really felt that in the past. Before, when I first came out as genderqueer, or not came out, that's the wrong word. When I first discovered the genderqueer term a few years ago, um, I didn't really tell too many people, and it was something I sort of had to get adjusted to first, and I had to become comfortable with thinking of myself on those terms first. And again, it was something I kept very private, and it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just where I was at the time. So it was definitely a transition, but now that I have made that transition and I'm starting to be more vocal about my gender queerness, I feel that it has been a very positive thing in my life, and I feel much more relaxed and much more myself. So can't ask for more than that. So all right, so you guys, I guess you'll get to see me every Tuesday. I think I'm your new Tuesday person. So all right, I did watch Joe's video and I did watch Jay's video. They're great. They also have some really great thoughts on this. So definitely go ahead and check out those videos if you haven't already. And all right, I'll see you guys. Have a good week. Bye.